If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. Nikola Tesla.
Welcome to the Frequency Shifter Show. I'm your host, Corene Summers, founder of Artisan Farmacy. In this show, we explore ways to raise the frequency of ourselves, one another, and our planet. We're digging deep into all things metaphysical, from what is frequency to the power of sound, the Schumann resonance, our DNA, Reiki, the energy of water, and beyond. All to shift our minds and bodies back into alignment with richer states of connection, elevated awareness, and maximum human potential. And we're bringing on the global experts and thought leaders to share their wisdom as they let us pick their brains around all these juicy, mysterious topics.
First of all, I don't know who Ricky is. And metaphysical? Schumann's Renaissance? I don't even know. What are you talking about? Wait a minute. I need us to take a step back and calm down. What are we even talking about here?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I have a co-host. The universe insisted, what can I say? This is Alex Terranova, founder of DreamMason. He's sort of a newbie to some of this frequency stuff, and he's going to help keep everything balanced, grounded, and relatable.
So this show isn't just for the experts to nerd out on all things metaphysical, but it's an open, welcome space for everyone to explore the mysteries of the universe and raise our frequencies together.
This is one of the most unique episodes we've ever done with a truly special soul, Paul of Venus from Mount Shasta. I'm just going to read you a bit of his bio as he wrote it and sent it to me. My name is Paul of Venus. I came to Earth to help raise the frequency to one of pure love. Divine source love, that is your original light. Mount Shasta is a multidimensional portal, a mirror showing us the purity within ourselves. She is the mountain of love, radiating this energy for us all to awaken to who we truly are. One-dimensional being inside your human body. So this episode is also special because Mount Shasta is known as the root chakra, the earth chakra, Muladhara chakra. There are 7 places around the world. I'm not going to get into them all right now, but there are 7 places around the world that are associated with these key 7 chakras. And that was the original idea behind the documentary that Alex and I are working on, which is also the theme of this podcast, frequency shifting, energy, places that hold special, powerful energy, people that hold special, powerful energy, practices and rituals that hold special, powerful energy, and this ability to shift through states of being. So Paul of Venus embodies all of this, and so does this episode. But I'm going to let Alex tell you more about that.
This episode was really challenging I think for you and me to record, to be with, not in any negative sort of way, but typically when we record podcasts, we're in a back and forth banter, a back and forth conversation. We're kind of two-way engaging with each other. And Paul he set himself up on the mountain in nature outside. So we could see him. He had his kind of camera, like it seemed like up in a tree. I think he was sitting on the ground, or in like a small chair. But almost as if he was like in a meditation state. Right. He was like totally plugged into the mountain. And for most of this episode, I think it's really important for people to know that we kind of just let him go. Right. I don't think we even asked a question for, I don't know how long, I don't know how long it was that we didn't ask a question, but there was a period of time where we just kind of let him, what wanted to come out of him came out of him. and then we would ask questions. But I just think it's important to know this is not your typical podcast. It's not going to sound like your typical podcast. We're there the whole time, even though we might not be vocalizing things. And at times, at least for me, I should say, it's our ego can have trouble with with people like this, because they're speaking at a level that isn't what we're used to. And sometimes we're like, oh, that's, our ego was like, that's crazy, that's wacky, that's like too far out there. And I noticed for me listening, there was like brilliance coming through him. And I was battling within that myself of like, what's going on here? And so I put that in the space. So as you as a listener might notice that come up for yourself, and maybe you can tamper that down and see if you can grab on, to what works for you and leave behind what doesn't. With Paul, we talk about obviously his journey to getting to this place where he identifies and relates to himself as Paul of Venus, a Venusian. We talk about why Mount Shasta is an important place. We talk about a doorway as a doorway to life. He talks about the new earth. We talk about ascended masters, which is a really interesting topic that I hadn't explored too much. We talk about how everything is God and the ability to move closer to it, and how this whole conversation is actually access to more freedom and to heal your body. Is there anything I'm like leaving out that you feel like that we should let people know on before they jump in?
No, I guess just to touch a little more on the channeling aspect.
Yeah.
I know Paul Venus is very connected to, he said, in Master Saint Germain. So he will also talk about that. And overall, channeling is something that we all have access to. It's called a lot of different things as well. Sometimes we call it state of flow when we're talking about our brain and our different things being aligned. And when we have a message that comes out in a really powerful way that feels almost like it's coming from somewhere else, we can channel from our highest selves. We can connect with messages in all different types of realms. So we're not going to get into a lot of that, but just know that this is a very spirit led episode. And like Alex said, try to take whatever messages from it you can, because it is 100% all delivered with heart and with love. And I know that Paul Venus's desire is to activate that heart openness, heart centeredness, and healing through being. So enjoy the show.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right in and enjoy this episode.
So this energy of the goddesses that's here today from this portal here on Mount Shasta is here to truly allow your DNA, your cells to receive the necessary adjustments and to rewrite these old patterns into structures, quantum fields that can hold your light, who you truly are. And so I welcome all of you to Mount Shasta.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Hello. Hello,
I already
brother.
feel more, I already feel more at peace. That was a very light filled welcome and entrance. So thank you for that. That was a special way to start off our podcast today.
Of course, we are all in this together, and all of us are the highest realms, and it's really within these physical forms, and so just to know that you're not alone ever, and we all do this together as ultimately one, and this beautiful love that unites us all, and is so present here on Mount Shasta, in between everything here. And so really welcome to pure reality. I was sitting here, and Mount Shasta turns everything into love. She is the mountain of love. And here, where I was sitting, I found this rock, this beautiful heart rock. And again, nothing is more powerful than love. So always to remember this. This is the force that makes everything. The worlds turn. The wind blows. A force. An unstoppable force. It's eternal life. And ultimately, that's who you are. So this mountain is a doorway to light. The new earth is here. You can feel it in the atoms. You can, we walk in the new earth here on the mountain and at these special portals. There's a lot of plasma, of multidimensional information, and this allows for the unification of the seventh dimension, of the fifth dimension mastery, and timelessness of the fourth dimension, and the third dimension. And so we get to really be in these fields, and this energy transmits through these satellites. And for, again, who you are is infinity, and ultimately eternal love. And so it's love, loving love, love, loving love. The top of the mountain behind me, loving love, you, and so this is what happens here on Mount Shasta. The higher realms are here on Earth, and truly, I walk and I am in heaven. It's heaven on Earth, and it's been, predicted that there are two Earths. And so I just want you to know that the new Earth is here, and it really is anchored here. And so know this, and ultimately it's within your heart. For all of this is within your heart. Everything is within your spiritual heart. And so just to share a little bit about myself, I am maybe about 7 years ago or so, I was electrocuted. And this electrocution destroyed this body and everything for years. But during the first year, it was such excruciating pain and so much that I came to a crossroads that I couldn't take it anymore. And I decided after I was to wait 3 days, and then I knew I had to come to Mount Shasta, and I did, and I rented a cabin here, and I, every day I would walk the mountain. I could only walk 5 steps at a time. That's how much, and I would cry and scream and yell and, cry a lot, and walk 5 more steps and meditate. And this continued, and ultimately through the time I stayed here, this became a surrender to God. And this is ultimately everything. The most important part of embodiment, of knowing who you are, is just truly surrender to God. And everything. One day when I was walking, I just said, God, take everything. I don't want anything to be my will, nothing to be dreams I have or stories, creations. I only want it to be your will, only your will, God. And I really stayed with this. I stayed with this for months. And through the surrender came a lot of silence, and then I also awareness of sensitivity, being able to feel when beings were around me, Arcturian beings would come and then do healing on me and macabre. Arcturian beings are beings in the fifth and higher dimensions, all the way up to the ninth, I believe. And truly there's just one dimension, but yes, and they are healers and scientists, and beautiful ones, and truly everyone that I connect with is holding only God consciousness. There's no reason to connect with anything else. So much happened, but through this process, these series of events happened, and many moments I shared with Saint Germain on Mount Shasta, with Ascended Master Yeshua or Jesus, with Venusians that showed me truly who I was one day while I was walking on the mountain, and I can share about this, but
Why, can I ask you, why do you think the energies of the Arcturians, Lemurian, Atlantis, Yeshua, Jesus, and so many other ascended masters is felt so strongly? I know you also mentioned Saint Germain, but many of the ascended masters are often referenced in talks about Mount Shasta and visions there and the energy that people feel. Now, Alex and I haven't been. Actually, have you been, Alex? We were supposed to go together last year, and we weren't able to make it. So it's still something that we'd like to do together as a part of this podcast and series we're doing on the frequency shifters. But there are many places around the world that have this special energy that are known as energy portals, where megalithic sites are, and where the frequency is just different.
Yes.
What's different about it? What do you think makes Mount Shasta so special? Like why Mount Shasta over all the other mountains in the world?
Yes, it's because Mount Shasta is truly, she is the goddess, the divine feminine. She holds, all civilizations. The wisdom, the technology is held here within this mountain in a place called the Halls of Amenti. So this mountain has had Atlantean colonies, has had Lemurian colonies. There are so many stargates here. And the masters, there is an ascended masters retreat within the mountain and above the mountain. This is all in the fifth dimension of God consciousness. And so they all come here. They are omnipresent and are with us now and are with you, always within you. You remember, they're not far away. It's not a far away place. It's just right inside you. All of this. The mountain is a reflection of your heart, of your true self. She is the goddess, the divine feminine energy, which right now on earth is so important, as the new earth is built with this frequency, with this unique love, these harmonies, these multidimensional harmonies. And so the ascended masters are very present here for Mount Shasta is the forefront of light. It's a place also in their realm, the ascended masters realm within the mountain. They come together here for source light enters Mount Shasta first from anywhere else on the world, enters here, and through different portals, it's very strong. And so, and other times it's very nourishing. And it's always just harmony, but yes, it's a lot of energy. The ascended masters, along with the galactics, they help to distribute this energy from here to other sacred sites, to pyramids, to cities, wherever it's truly needed. And they come at different times, and But again, they have missions here, and many of us go and do these missions with them. And just knowing that all of you who are listening, and you are all ascended masters. You are perfect beings of light. There's nothing that you need to change or to become. It's truly in just being you. And the ascended masters, when they see you, they see God. You know, when they see you, they feel no separation from you, ever, no separation. This place is a higher dimension, and so it allows for beings that are in the 7th and 5th dimension to be very tangibly felt in the 3rd dimension and this 4th dimension of timelessness where we are now. And so truly this allows for this, and the mission is here. This is the point. It's you know, you can see and know that all of the old world is crumbling and imploding on itself, and yet, and it has to, you know, it just really does. You just have to let it go. It's in your heart, what's calling you in the silence. What is that calls you in the silence? That you are, have always been, and it's a moment now on earth when it is here, and you just have to jump into it and know that you are supported by the ascended masters, and the ascended masters truly say they just want you to be you. That's all. Same with the angels and God. It's just to be who you really are. To strip away and actually embody, because we really don't get rid of anything. We want to embody all human aspects. And this breaking of your heart that will happen when you do this allows you to emerge. And I welcome you to come to this dimension and meet me here, for you truly will do feel who you are. And there is a portal, a special portal on this mountain called the Temple of Love. And I did want to share about this, but you can ask me some questions. But at the Temple of Love, it's a place on this mountain that is a complete multidimensional realm that you can breathe, you can taste the frequency of who you really are, tangibly, all around you. And this is a gift to feel on earth. For once you truly feel this, you know, it's things begin to change quickly.
Paul, can I ask you for people that this is their first time hearing about Lemurians, and people have obviously heard more about Atlanteans, but almost more in like the myth and like media sense. Can you speak more about what Lemurians and Atlanteans, like who they are, where they come from?
Sure. There was a continent called, there was a name, we call it Lemuria. We have to always know that these names are names we've given to these places and to peoples, as like Saint Germain, and as names to like Jesus, or names like Buddha. In the higher realms, there really are no names. It's truly just frequency. And so Lemuria was a continent that after millions of years, they evolved to a beautiful consciousness, and also lost consciousness for they began to use the God technology that they were using, that they had for, they were close, become feeling one with God, being one with God. And so that this includes free energy, and this includes, it's all around us, this energy, it's in the space. And so their civilization began to dissolve and to like, implode on itself as well. And a lot of them came here. So some of it even sunk, but a lot of them came to Mount Shasta, to Hawaii. That was part of it, a colony. But again, these were advanced civilizations, and they did have colonies, but they came here with just some technology, and so they were able to, in the third dimension. For they did come in the third dimension, and they were able to, manipulate matter and create a big opening within Mount Shasta, to create a place for them to live. And they did do this. And but the beautiful part about them is, just about 120 years ago or so, the Lemurians, they ascended into the fifth dimension. And the Lemurians are just like you and me. They're just they're just people, just like all of us are, everyone in the cosmos. We are one love. We are one family of light. So there is no separation. And so it's not to see anyone as separator, you know. And so when they ascended, before they ascended, they would go into town here in Mount Shasta, and they would trade things. They would bring gold for certain things. People would see them, and they were just really tall beings, people. And so they ascended, and so this means that they mastered and embodied all their humanity, everything that had happened to them, that trauma, fears, all of this. And truly, this is why we all are here. For this helps to raise the consciousness of humanity, and this is what they are doing, for now that they are holding God consciousness within this mountain and around this mountain. For where they live is a world called Telos. People call it a city, but it's a world. It's gigantic. There's hills go forever, and there's little houses with energy fields around them, and there's a sun that doesn't burn your eyes. It's a blue white sun, spiritual sun. One. Oceans.
Can I ask you something, Paula Venus?
Mm-hmm.
So for a lot of the listeners that, again, we like to kind of balance, information with being able to point people in other resources too, that they can learn information and go deeper into these topics. And I know for some, when they haven't heard these things before, it's different. It sounds, almost foreign from the earth that we know here, and from some of the things that we know here. Where does all of this information come from? Because I hear the same things from people over and over and over again as we do this research, and as we interview others like you, people on the spiritual path, from all different types of modalities and in all types of high energy locations. And we hear the same things, the same themes. But what we also like to dig into is, for you personally, what was your path to this knowledge? Where did it come? Where did you come into contact with it? Did you have a mentorship? Did somebody show you? Did you channel it? Did you, what was your path to where you are now, here sitting on Mount Shasta, able to, share this with us?
As I was sharing in the beginning, through this electrocution and being, so destroyed, and then surrendering to God, that was the most important part. And from then, I started to, again, to be able to feel beings. Um, I I had a moment, many moments with Ascended Master Saint Germain. One moment he saved me from being lost in the woods. It was almost nighttime. I wasn't who I am now, and and it was really cold, and he saved me, by guiding me with energy because I could only feel, couldn't really see anything yet. Um, then came missions that I was given. So in this cabin that I was staying at, I would wake up and I knew that I had to do this mission. It was just a knowing, and I would go. And in the second year I was here, I could walk 10 steps at a time now. I was still very hurt, but nothing mattered. It was just the mission, the will of God. And I just went. And sometimes, one of the missions was to pray for everything and everyone all over the world, everything, even the rocks and the atoms, um, everything, governments. I didn't know why. I was just doing it, and I didn't ask questions. I didn't want to understand anything. I just wanted to know, not to understand. Um, then the mission would end, and another one would begin. Another one would begin, and so forth. But on the third year, I had a moment where I was sitting on the mountain, and I could see now. I could see beings now. I could see, color, and then I recognized that it was Saint Germain that was coming, and he came very close to me, and he stood in front of me, and he said, "Paul, hold out your hands." And I held my hands out, and I felt this energy enter the left side of my arm to my heart, and it felt like universal brotherhood, oneness, eternal knowing of each other. And it was the same energy that guided me when I was lost in the woods.
Mm.
Um,
How did you
he
know it was
continued.
Saint Germain? Did you just knew?
Um, so the Ascended Masters, well, it starts with really surrender, and and breaking your heart opening by embodying all of your humanity, you know. And this is something that's really important. And I spent about 3 months doing this in that cabin every night. So we just begin, and I would go into every fear, every single fear, every single doubt, every single guilt, abuse, trauma, all of them, separation. And I would go into every single moment of those and feel them again as a human, fully relive them and speak to whoever was there, and cry, and all of it. And then the peace would emerge. And then forgiveness would come as your awareness is light. Forgiveness arrives. And this moment alchemizes from, say, if it was fear, it alchemizes from fear to divine fear, and then to love, and it enters your body. And so you do this with each one, and you don't stop until there's nothing left. And if I did this, and this is what breaks your heart open, and you begin to emerge, and when you do, you become more in oneness. So you're able to, now I was able to feel frequency, and this means I was able to feel when Saint Germain was around. I was able to feel when Yeshua, Ascended Master Yeshua, was close, or Mary Magdalene when she was near, and then you start to know them as frequency, and this is how they want you to know them. The Ascended Masters want you to know them as how they feel first, and then to know them as frequency. For you can't fake a frequency. You can appearances can be manipulated, but a frequency, you just can't fake a frequency.
Isn't it so interesting though that humanity has put so many different names on the same frequency? For instance, I think the frequency of love has many names in many different cultures, many different religions and societies, right? But then we fight over who calls love the best name.
You know, the
Or who calls
for,
God
for
the best name?
it's to have nothing to defend, nothing to protect, to just be, and all is one. Everyone is God, and all here we are expressions from Source, come to Earth as creators to find the purpose of your expression and bring this back to Source. Ultimately, within your spiritual heart, as everything is here. And it's just finding out who you are, where you come from. And so you ask these questions. What makes the wind blow? What is the source of love? So ultimately, there are so many modalities, so many mantras, so many things to do, but you will find everything in the silence inside of you, for you are all masters. You are not this human. This is an expression of you to help you raise the frequency of humanity, the feeling of human suffering and the pain and the joy, all of it, and alchemizing it, like I said before.
Paul, do you have any specific message for me and Corene from the Ascended Masters?
Mm. Let me tune in for a moment.
Sure. If you don't, it's okay too. I'm just curious. You seem so
Us-
tapped in right now.
For the show, or for like for Alex and I, for the show, or for the listeners as a whole, I guess.
Mm. Okay. So this is, and the love that is given is more important than the words. This is from Sanat Kumara. I come to let you know that you are not alone in your efforts. You have the full support of all beings of light in the entire multi-universe. There are many things that will continue to transpire in the days ahead. Know that it is a great clearing of energies that have been stuck and manipulated and programs, and the clearing will continue to occur. These old systems of control. And all of this will be coming to an end, and your way will become clear, and you will have knowledge and ability for great service to light. And you are the ones who are being readied for the great role that you each have to play. And that is of holding and anchoring cosmic energies through you, the higher realms in you, beingness, and then to the crystalline core of Mother Earth. In the service itself, is of the highest benefit and for the highest good of all. Know that all humanity upon earth will rise with her into the higher dimensions. Know that you are held within my heart and those in the ascended realms. Within my heart. And know that your time has come. So this is from Sanat Kumara, Ascended Master from Venus, the Ancient of Days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanat Kumara, for your love, for loving humanity so much, saving humanity. Thank you.
Thank you.
And always know that all is well. Whatever you see happening on Earth in these realms, you see a virus that's hurting people. People seem to be dying, but nobody really ever dies. It's just the body and the brain. But who you are all eternal beings. And governments and wars and all of these things that are happening out there, I call them God tools. It's all God. Everything is.
Mm.
And this is what is going to help people come to consciousness. Go at least to anger, from submission to anger, to then surrender to God, to light, to love, and then to be this love, to be the love, to be the new earth. For ultimately, this is how we, it is how we live in the new earth. It's being it, and ultimately how you raise the frequency of the planet. It's in being you, the highest you, the one who's been waiting, the one who's been watching all the mind stuff, and the permanent one that you are. You've always been the master of life.
Yeah, we learn through the struggle.
Those are the doorways to freedom. Fear. That's your doorway to freedom.
When you choose love over fear is the doorway to freedom.
Well, the thing is you have to go into the fear, in your moments of silence, spend a moment in silence and really hold this question. You can ask a question like this. Fear, when were you born? Show me. Show me fear. When were you born? You just listen to the silence. One day, this will open like a spiral and it will show you a movie. First time ever that fear came to you on earth. And when you alchemize this, you alchemize a lot of this collective fear on earth and within your body. Something Saint Germain says to me is, and this is light encoded. He says, when you heal your body, you heal everybody. When you heal your body, you heal everybody.
I love that.
So it's
What
so
are
simple.
What are some things for people, that are at home listening to this or tuning in from, You're here on this beautiful mountain. Alex is in San Diego area close to a beach. I'm in New York City right now. As many people in the middle of a city. If we want to connect to these energies of Mount Shasta or cultivate those healing energies, those light encoded energies within our lives, but we're someone that lives, very much still in the 3D physical world, not able to escape into a mountain every day. What are some things that you can do to kind of spark that light or invite that frequency, that energy into our life and into our daily habits and rituals?
So when you're in the city and you see chaos around you and cars and smoke, and all kinds of things, again, recognize that all of that is God, and just let God happen with all of it. Surrender the world, surrender it, and you go into your heart daily. Go into your heart. A meditation is not just a moment of silence that it helps you to relax. This is how you change the world. This is your moment of power by going in. And so when you're in these realms, these cities, these God tools are helping you, because you're saying this frequency just isn't in alignment with me anymore. This feels, it just doesn't feel right. This is just frequency. And so it guides you, leads you here into your heart. The search and all the answers are here inside of you. The questions, there aren't any more questions. They don't matter. It's just, as we enter a more fourth dimensional way of life, which is it's more free of time. And so we just let God happen with everything out there. And that's what came to me on the mountain here. It's just let God happen. All you have to do is find out who you are. Find out the source of everything inside you. The source of everything you feel. Find out the source of it. And know that in the cities that you're in, you're there for a reason. You're there to be this harmony, to be this love, and you can connect to Mount Shasta and through these transmissions, but truly all of this is in your heart, and this is most important to remember. For you don't have anything to learn. It's just to remember. And so we want to shift now as we are entering these higher realms. For the new earth is here, and we want to shift from believing in angels, trusting in ascended masters, believing in God. We want to know God, to know angels are real, to know ascended masters. So just always remember that what you see with your eyes is very limited. What's really here is light, and you are only light. So all the emotions and the doubts and the fears, these are just your doorways to freedom. For you came from the higher realms, and you came to earth, and you chose. You said, I'm going to go to earth, and I'm going to raise the frequency of abuse. And you planned it with someone, and you came to earth, and then that moment happened, and it destroyed you. And now you have a God tool to use to raise the frequency of humanity. And so these moments that seem dark, that seem ugly, it's important to go into them. Being here in a vortex and being who I am. It's not a vacation or a getting away from reality. This is reality. This is pure reality here. The matrix is out there in the cities where there's things that control you and manipulate you. And this is, again, these are God tools to help you remember that you don't, why, that's not who I am. And to help you come to freedom, to who you really are.
Something that's like just showed up for me while you were in some of the things you were sharing, is that like no matter what's happening, what we would consider good, bad, suffering, struggle, fear, celebration, whatever, everything is forcing us closer to God and consciousness. But the choice is like how we want to experience that ride. We can choose to ride that journey as a journey of fear or suffering or horror, or we can, like we can create that hell right here on earth and experience it like that, or we can ride that ride closer as a ride of fun or joy or love or peace or helpfulness. But that when we're looking at that shouldn't be, that's actually, it all should be. It's all like the same flowing river to the same place. It's just how we want to interpret it.
Exactly. That's so beautiful, the way your awareness for everyone has their own mission that they chose on earth. And again, everyone is an expression of source. And so it's important to honor their expression. They're not doing anything wrong. They just came to embody some sort of humanity. And it even may appear evil in a human way. And maybe it is in that way. But yet they are helping others to remember and to awaken to maybe, so many things that are happening right now on earth, and manipulating people, and governments lying to you, and so many things. But these, you will go into your heart and you will be the government. You will be the love. From peace, everything will emerge. And you are this love and peace. So it's nothing, again, that is far away or where you have to find. It's just to remove, to see all the things that you are not. Really find the source of everything.
This is hitting really hard for, I think, both Alex and I right now, because this is the same, the second interview for our podcast today. And this is the same message that came through about our roles and how each person here is a different mirror, a different reflection of source. And our experiences are interwoven like this beautiful cloth, this beautiful mosaic. No piece can exist without the other piece. And we fit like these complicated interwoven puzzles that even when someone does something that one person could view as wrong or hurtful or mean or cruel, even like you were saying, I mean, murder and rape and horrible things happen. And not
Yes.
saying that any of those things are
No,
justified in any way, but
we have compassion.
knowing that these experiences are connected, and in the end, nothing is wasted.
All of it is so important. It's so important it's such a brave mission that we come to Earth to do, to feel these horrible things on Earth, and abuse, and there is a lot of this, and yet this is the only way that we can raise the frequency of human consciousness. It's why we chose to come into these human bodies. Otherwise, I would have just stayed in the sixth dimension on Venus and come to Earth like I did. And I've had many missions here, but no, this time I came into a human body to feel the pain, to feel the fear, to feel the separation, the abandonment. all of it, and then alchemize it, and then to just hold this Venetian light here on Mount Shasta, and you are the same. You're here to do the same. You are the higher realms within this body. So one thing that I tell people recently is that, so here's the third dimension, the body and all kinds of stuff, and you're going to have fun in this dimension, and you're going to do all sorts of things in this body, and you cannot judge yourself or anyone. I mean, God doesn't judge anyone. There's no judgment in the higher realms. It doesn't exist. So only on earth is there judgment, on learning planets. So don't judge yourself or anything or anyone. Just leave the world alone. You just go inside to fix it. If you want to change the world, like I said, go inside. It's all here. But so as we love the third dimension, really embrace it, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pain. And then we connect to the fifth dimension in your daily activations. And in the fourth dimension, the place of timelessness, we spend more time there in between waking and sleeping and in different moments. And as we love and be in all of these realms, in the third dimension, we unite them within us. And ultimately, I guess, you are one. And so you create this one love dimension united within you. And this is it. And so really embrace your humanity and have patience for your humanity. Know that you are not your humanity. That your humanity is just a tool to help you come to realize who you are, and to raise the consciousness of this. Really, it's a universal love story. It begins well, it ends well. So dance. You are light dancing.
I hope we can create it here on Earth.
It's here and it's in your heart. And all it is just to remember to go in and feel this eternal light, this
People are
infinity that
feeling
you
it
are.
more and more. I can feel it multiplying. It's beautiful
There are so
how
many people.
there's people spread. It's interesting because doing this work and meeting so many different people in different spiritual paths spread all over the world, and it's like it was like this well laid map of people, and everyone started out further apart in these little like coves of darkness, trying to fight through to shine their light. And as one light comes on, it shines brighter and brighter, and it starts to turn on all the other little lights around it, like, and then another light turn on, and they just start to multiply and become more and more and more and more and more. And that's how I've sort of seen this wave. It seemed, even though we're going through some unprecedented, or well, maybe not, but some terrible times here on Earth, and some just absolutely just devastating things that some can never possibly understand. At the same time, it's turning on so many of those lights. So it's
Yes, and and what you both are doing is truly such a blessing. For you are creating a quantum field. You are creating these dots and these and these lines. It's great. And truly, they are moments of light.
Speaking of the grid, I know we're getting close on time, unfortunately, but I really have been so absorbed and interested in the earth chakras and the serpent ley lines, and kind of the grid, the energy grid that many different texts and writings and different things have kind of alluded to this energetic grid that overlays the planet. There's not a lot of scientific proof. There's not a lot of modern proof. It can be difficult to find information with all the censorship on Google, but it's something that I just keep wanting to know more about. I feel really pulled towards it. And these megaliths, these ancient sites, the pyramids, Mount Shasta, Lake Titicaca in Peru, Uluru in Australia, Tibet, these places all over the world. And Mount Shasta, so there are 7 of them that are often aligned with the chakras, and then many, many, many more that are associated with higher energy portals and more intense, higher frequencies, more of these mysterious events and connections to other dimensions. Mount Shasta most often being called the root chakra, so aligning with the root chakra and the kind of, I guess, like our relationship with stability and security, and the other energies that are of the root chakra. But I don't want to talk about it. I want to hear your opinion. Have you heard that before? Do you agree with that?
Now, Shasta,
Right?
she is known as the root chakra of the earth, and she has this. There is a place on the mountain, a vortex, that I bring people to, and it's the most grounding place on Mount Shasta. Yet, this mountain, she is a goddess, and she's complete. She is all the dimensions. There's portals, heart, angels, places for angels, crown, just multidimensional energies here. You just need to know where to go on the mountain, and these realms open for us, and we're able to enter and to truly be and receive and just rest in it. But as you said, this grid around the world, and yes, and even though there's a new earth grid, a new earth flower of life grid around the earth. This has been created, and around the trees and around everything, around all of us. Everything has been set in place. See, the thing is the new earth is already here. It's just that in the 3D, because there's time, it's not in the 4th dimension yet. It's still in the 3rd dimension. So it takes a little time for things to happen. And so that's why you see, you said these horrible things happening and all of this. These energies aren't allowed into the north. And so unfortunately, we have compassion, and we have love, and humility, and truly surrender, knowing that what is God. When you're in these hard moments out there and things are happening, just say what is God. And just feel that. Only God is here. Remember that. And these grids, these places around the earth are very important. And I've been to a lot of them, yet I've never felt the love frequency that's here on this mountain. This is the divine feminine. And this is what's needed on earth, as I said in the start. This energy is what creates the new earth. And it's here. It's really here. So yes, there are these lines, all of it, but most importantly, it's to know that it's all inside your heart. It's really all inside you. Ascended Master Yeshua said it all in just 2 words. He said it all. Know thyself.
Paul, we ask everyone that comes on this show to give us their definition of what a frequency shifter is. What do you say a frequency shifter is?
So, someone who can just be who they really are, and this emanates from here at this point and radiates out and changes everything people receive. It's just you being love, being
Thanks. We want to make sure everybody knows where they can find you besides on the mountain or around the mountain. They can go to your website, which is at it's MT and then Shasta spiritualtours.com. It's also, they can email you at MT Shasta Spiritual Tours, and your Instagram is the same thing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, everyone who's listening. We're super grateful.
It's been beautiful being together with all of you on the mountain. And thank you, both of you, for what you're doing and creating this grid of light, for it is so needed. And you're doing such a mission, a beautiful mission. And everyone has been listening. We are this code of light to all together. And know this, always know, we are always together, all of us. And I send all of you beautiful Venusian light to fill your hearts and this love here from Mount Shasta.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing us a little love and light from Mount Shasta today. It was really special to be able to join you from the mountain or on the mountain. So thanks for doing that instead of just being in a building somewhere. I love it. We were able to really feel the Venus vibes with the sunshine and the blue sky and the trees. So
beautiful. It's so beautiful being with you. Thank you so much for
you again. And we'll make sure to put your info in the show notes for everyone. Thanks again for being here, Frequency Shifters. We love you all so much. Thanks for being with us, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks, Paul.
Bye. See you soon.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Frequency Shifters. We really hope that you got some value, you learned something, and that there's something from this episode that you can take away and use in your life. Who are you thinking of right now that needs to hear this episode? Please share it with them. Share this on social media, subscribe and like and leave a comment. And please, if you have a comment or an idea or something that you want us to talk about or investigate, leave it online and we will go into those and bring you that information. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.